All right, so today we're going to talk about doing basic conversions. This is all stuff that you've seen before, but we're just going to kind of practice it and refresh it. And maybe if it didn't make sense when you saw it last time, maybe we can make some sense of it today. So what we're doing is we're going to be converting, in this example, from 9,432 feet to miles. So the very first step is you want to write down what you're given. So I'm given 9,432 feet. And I want to somehow get to miles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at what I've got where I'm given here, and then I know that eventually I'm going to have to get to miles. So what I need to have is I'm going to cancel feet out. So in order to do that, I have feet up top over here. So I know that I'm going to have feet down here on bottom. And eventually I'll get to where I have miles on top and all of my other units have been canceled out. So what I'm going to do is I always do what's given here in this first one, and then the next thing, what I'm trying to get rid of and where I need to have it to get rid of it. So since I have feet up top here, I need to have feet on the bottom here. So now I'm going to come up to my chart up here, and I'm going to go, okay, so I've got this one, and this one. Those all have feet in the bottom. Now I have to decide which one is the right one to use. Well, I've got to get to miles. So if I go from 1 foot to inches, inches is not the correct direction because inches is smaller than a foot. I'm trying to go to a mile, and a mile is a lot bigger. So now I'm going to look at this one, a yard. I mean, okay, if I get a yard, is there a way I can go from a yard to a mile? No, not really. But this one right here, it has a mile on top. That's exactly the one that I need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this exactly like how it's written right here, and I'm going to put it in here. So I have 1 mile up top, 1 mile, and in the bottom I have 5,280 feet. So you see, here's my fraction. Here's that division bar right here, 1 mile over 5,280 feet. That's exactly what I have right here. So now what I've done is I've gotten rid of feet because feet divided by feet cancels out, and now I'm left with miles. So now all I have to do is take my calculator and plug it in. So what you essentially have here is you have 9,432 feet times 1 mile. So you take the top, you multiply them together. And then I divide it by 5,280 feet. So if we look, do I need to really take the time and multiply something by 1? No, because it doesn't change anything. So what I have here is I have 9,432 divided by 5,280. And that gives me approximately 1.8. So we'll round. So we'll say 1.8 miles. And you know, if I think about it, that makes sense. If 5,280 feet is the same thing as 1 mile, well, 5,280 feet is just over 10,000 feet, and this is just under 10,000. So 2 miles is going to be more than 10,000, and this is 1.8. So it makes sense when I look at it and think about it that way. All right. What about this one? If I'm going to convert from yards to inches. So first thing, again, write what you're given. So I'm given 32 yards. And then I'm going to write what I'm trying to get rid of, where I need it to be in order to get rid of it. If I put yards up top here, that would not cancel out yards. That would just give me yards squared. That's not what I need. So I need to have yards in the bottom in order to cancel out that yards. So now I'm going to come up here and look. Which one has yards in the bottom? Well, that one's easy. Only one of them. So that's what I'm going to put in here. I have 3 feet in 1 yard. So that's going to cancel out my yards. Now I have feet. I need inches though. So feet is not exactly where I need to go. So again, now I'm going to look at what do I need to get rid of? Well, I need to get rid of feet, so I've got to put feet in the bottom to cancel out feet up top. So now I'm going to come back here, and just like in the last one, I've got 3 that have feet in the bottom, and I have to decide which one's the right one to use. Now I'm going to inches. Well, if I look right here, this one is exactly the one that I have. I have 12 inches in 1 foot. So that'll get rid of it here. So I put 1 foot here, and I have 12 inches here. And that's going to cancel out my feet. So now the only unit that I have left is inches. And I still have my numbers. So I still have 32 times 3 times 12. So what that's going to get me, 32 times 3 times 12, that's going to get me 1,152. So I have 1,152 inches in 32 yards. And that's pretty reasonable. I mean, if you think about an inch, there's 12 of them in a single foot. And a yard is 3 feet long. So think about a football field. You've got the 32-yard line. And how many inches will it take you to go from the goal line to the 32-yard line? Well, it's going to take a while. So 1,152 is a reasonable answer. All right. Now here, we're going to convert from fluid ounces to quarts. So again, first thing, I'm going to write what I'm given, 4,321 fluid ounces. That's how you abbreviate fluid ounces if you aren't aware. And I've got to go to quarts. So I've got to get rid of fluid ounces. So if I have it up top, I need to have it on the bottom here to get rid of it. So now I'm going to come up to what I've got up here. I'm going to look around. Well, only one of these has fluid ounces in the bottom. So it's going to be this one. So I'm going to write 8 fluid ounces here. And I've got 1 cup up top. Now I need quarts, not cups. So I've canceled out my fluid ounces. Now I need to cancel out cups. So since I have cups up top, I'm going to put cups in the bottom. And now I'm going to go to this next one right here. And I'm going to go ahead and copy that. So there's 2 cups is equal to 1 pint. Notice, I'm just putting this exact same thing that's written here, 1 pint over 2 cups, 1 pint over 2 cups. That's going to cancel out my cups. And now I've got to go, oh wait, I need quarts. So I'm still not done. This is put it into pints. I need into quarts. So I'm going to go to this next one. Because I've got to get rid of pint here, I've got to put pints in the bottom. And that's going to get me 1 quart up top. And that's going to cancel out the pints. So now I've done everything I can. I've canceled out all of the units I need to. Now I just need to do the math. So the math really says I have 4,321 times 1 times 1 times 1. The bottom is 8 times 2 times 2. So what I always suggest to do as a good rule of thumb to prevent errors while putting things in the calculator is go ahead and figure out what just your numerator is, then just your denominator, then put it all in the calculator. There will be all kinds of different mistakes made putting these into the calculators if you have something like this. So what I mean is find out what is 4,321 times 1 times 1 times 1. Hopefully we all know that it's just going to be 4,321 because anything times 1 doesn't change. Okay, so then now we have 8 times 2 times 2. So 8 times 2 is 16, and then 16 times 2 is 32. Not black. Sorry. Why my pen color changed there. Then we got 32. So now I'm going to take that and I'm going to put that in the calculator. So I have 4,321 divided by 32. And that gets me 135.03. So we'll say 135 quarts. Not even going to put the decimal because it's 0.03, and I tend to do just 1 decimal. So we have 135 quarts. That's how many ounces, or that's how many 4,321 fluid ounces converts to quarts. quarts are a bigger item, so it takes a whole lot of ounces to make 1 quart. All right. So now let's talk about our metric stairs. These are super helpful, like honestly. So the big thing here is that with metric stairs, you have your base unit, which is going to be right here. So just some examples are grams, liters, and meters. So anything that is a metric unit, this is where it's going to go for your base, is right here, and it either gets smaller from there or bigger from there. So in this case right here, if I have 235 millimeters, so there's millimeters, which are just the little bittiest part of a ruler, to a centimeter, which is going to be the next smallest part. So if I'm doing that, what this is saying, if I'm going from millimeters to centimeters, I go up 1 stair, which is also in the left direction, because this is going left as I increase, right? So I'm going to go, I have 235.0 millimeters. And if I want to find out what my centimeters are, is I'm taking that decimal and I'm going however many places to the left or right my stairs tell me to go. So from going from milli to centi, I go left 1. So I move my decimal left 1. So I have 23.5 centimeters. Okay. So likewise, let me go ahead and erase these for our next one. Likewise, what I can do is I can convert between kilograms to grams. So if I was going to do kilograms, which are right here, to grams, grams are a base unit. I don't have a hecto, deca, deci, centi, or milli in front of that. So what I've got to do is go to my base unit. So in order to do that, that's 1, 2, 3, and I'm going 3 down, which is also 3 to the right. So if I have 3.8 kilograms, going 3 to the right means I go 1, 2, 3. And now I just put zeros wherever there were not numbers. So it's 3,800 grams. So 3.8 kilograms is equal to 3,800 grams. Hopefully this helps when doing conversions. If it doesn't, then we need some more practice and you'll have to come to me and ask any questions if you have some.